Welcome back, everybody, to He Made Me Watch. Once again, I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Eric.
And today I made Eric watch Men in Black 3. Not one of my favorite movies, but a movie that I picked just because I thought it was kind of odd that Eric hadn't seen it yet. And, you know, it's a comic movie that Eric hadn't seen. And he likes Men in Black. Like
I
most
love
of
Men
us.
in Black.
The first film. Yeah.
Tomorrow, in the mail, I'm getting the first season of the animated series because I ordered that.
Rock on, man.
Yeah.
We'll have to watch that for the next show,
Yeah.
or at least some of it.
Yeah.
No, that sounds great.
We'll see how it holds up.
Yeah. Either wait for me or watch some of it and then throw me discs, because we've got to do some of that. No, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Anyways, oh, you know what else just occurred to me? On Crisis, I was going to have us do the old Star Wars Clone Wars show.
Oh, yeah, because I watched the whole thing.
Did you? I should have. We'll do it next time.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get it watched. We'll do it because we've been to do that forever.
Yeah.
We talked about that really early on.
We talked about doing commentaries as like a lead up to.
Is that what we were gonna do?
Last Jedi or something?
Yeah.
Maybe it was Rogue One.
I mean, that's a thing we could still do if people wanted us to eventually, but we should talk about it on the show. Anyway, well, I should have just done my homework then. I didn't know you finished it. Men in Black 3. So, like I said, I wanted to give that initial caveat. If people were like, Cap, why would you pick that movie?
There was something that I was forgetting where I was like, I thought there was something else in.
Yeah.
That I was going to talk about.
I mean, I could have had you talk about it, but I want to talk about it too.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
anyway. So, this, like I said, I picked mostly because I was surprised that Eric hadn't seen it. I was kind of curious about his reaction, and
it was a big summer. Everyone said it was okay, and so I never prioritized seeing it.
I remember being decisively nonplussed when I watched this movie, and then I watched it again with you, and I don't know. I mean, you'll talk about what you think of this here pretty soon. This is the worst viewing I've ever had of it. I mean, I've only seen this a couple of times, but like, I don't know. I'm less than nonplussed now, and felt kind of weird about showing it to you. But I think Brolin is amazing in this, which is amazing. A lot of the reason that I had you watch it.
And Will Smith is Will Smith.
But yeah, what was your reaction?
I will tell you what I told some other people that I was talking to after I watched this.
Yeah.
They're like, "What did you think of it?" And I said, "Men in Black is still an amazing movie with 2 sequels."
Yeah. Sure.
This is better than
it's
2.
The Matrix, but just spread out over a bunch of years.
This is better than 2, but that's not hard.
Yeah.
I was surprised at the beginning, because there were some things that didn't fully make sense to me, but I figured it would all shake out. It did not. But I was like, oh, this is really funny. There's some really funny stuff early on, and then we go back in time,
and we laughed a lot at Will Smith. I mean, like, he's still...
The president is drinking my chocolate milk.
It's just the best. But like, every time Will Smith talks, it's funny.
Yep. And then he goes back in time, and I don't laugh that much at what Will Smith is saying. And the back in time felt real lazy, and like they didn't really think it through. And there's so much more...
the period stuff.
Yeah. And there's so much more interesting things that you could have done going back in time with the Men in Black. It should be early in their development, so it should either be like real haphazard, or I think it would also be funny if it looked exactly like it does now, because all of their technology is stolen, gifted technology. It's all alien technology.
Everything
they're not making any
feels
of this.
Kind of cartoony.
Yeah, and it feels like
they treat it like it's really smart,
and it feels like they didn't get it. Like they didn't get the first movie. It's like they didn't go back and rewatch and what they said about the history of Men in Black. All the time travel stuff,
which is weird because it's the same director.
Yeah,
and
all the time travel stuff makes no sense. It should be noted this is written by the writer of Iron Man 2. Surprising no one, I think, once you find that out.
I feel bad because it's Sonnenfeld and I love Sonnenfeld, but I feel like he didn't have a lot of control over the second 2 movies. And I read something with him the other day where he talked about... because we're going to talk later about the whole Men in Black 4 thing. That we review a thing and then suddenly there's news. But apparently part of the reason he's not coming back is because he doesn't like the producers of those movies. And that makes me think that he probably didn't
Which is interesting because Steven Spielberg is one of the producers of these movies.
That's interesting. Yeah, but I don't know how closely he actually, worked on the thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But
anyway, I'm sorry.
So, I didn't really care for this movie. Obviously, the Josh Brolin performance is really good. I like the performance the villain gives. He's not in it enough, and I don't know anything about him. I don't like the character. I like the performance. I don't like the character. I also think he's really...
There's nothing to like or dislike, really.
Yeah, he's just nothing.
Not even underdeveloped.
And it's yet another villain obsessed with Kay. Like, there's stuff I thought you wouldn't have done after you did 2. And so...
Which makes it feel kind of formulaic, and...
It...
The plot of 2 is so cookie-cutter, and this is less cookie-cutter, but it's the same kind of... Here's like a really obvious, kind of been there and done that premise that we keep treating like we were brilliant for coming up with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you had that, but...
Yeah.
It's almost like we keep banging the audience over the head with, isn't it cool that we thought to do a time travel plot?
And I don't think it is. That was another reason that I didn't have a lot of interest in. I'm like, oh, they go back in time? Like, that's not what I'm into Men in Black for.
But couldn't we have used it for lots of world building?
Yeah.
Like, to go back to what you were talking about before, let's actually build a mythology and figure out who some of these aliens are, make them memorable, and build this world.
There's a bunch of
bit.
stuff that I thought you would have done.
Do some First Contact.
Like the
if you're gonna go back in time, show us like what we should have done.
Like Minot and Bob, those two.
Yes.
Why didn't we get there? Like we should have been them joining and
yeah. I mean, you could have had some irritating, like, prequelitis stuff with that, or it could have been great, right?
Yeah.
Again, as I always say, don't want to rewrite the movie. You know what I would have done with this? I would have First Contacted it. Like, I would have gone back to the first time Earth met aliens. Do First Contact.
At the very least, I would have gone back to the thing that Kay tells us about in the first movie, where he meets that alien and he brings him the flowers.
Yes.
He brought the nice man some flowers.
Yeah.
I would have done that.
Yeah, sure.
As it is, this backstory doesn't make any sense for Kay. In the first movie, he's still watching through satellites his high school sweetheart.
Yeah.
In this, he's just he's in a good mood. He's flirting, if not sleeping, with a lady that's working at the Men in Black. I don't buy that this guy's still hung up on his high school sweetheart because...
But the Brolin version still has the attitude for no good reason.
Yeah,
Like they act like that's just... He's just kind of, no nonsense and stolid naturally, but he's more open. Yeah, there are people that are like that. I would have... Like, Brolin does such an amazing job of doing that character precisely the same way, but wouldn't you think that if there was, like, a big impetus that got him, kind of more cynical, that would have... more of that attitude would have come with it?
Well, and all of this kind of flies in the face of the first one, where you get the impression that Kay is like this because he's lived this life.
Yeah.
It's not like there's one moment that broke him.
Yeah, because he had that too, but also like Kay in the first movie, and like we still play it up in this, but he has like personality quirks, and he has
He likes Elvis.
Yeah, he's a little bit eccentric in his way, right? And I get the sense that I always got the sense that those were like holdovers from back when he was looser and more spry and fun, right? And apparently he was never like that. And I thought the idea with the first movie was you give up a part of your soul and you give up your personal life when you become a man in black, and you get a number and they take away your name, right? You get one letter and that's you now, and you hardly have your own personal life. And I thought the idea was he used to be more like Jay, and now he's not.
Because of the life he led.
Apparently not.
Yeah, no, and like
Jay gets to be exactly like he is forever. He never loses that.
Yeah, they've like completely forgotten like the whole first movie. That's what I kind of feel. I mean, the second movie feels like that too, but like this one really, because we're going backwards. I'm like, oh, you don't understand the movie you made. You don't understand what was so great about Men in Black, and you don't get the world you built. It's not. Everything isn't the Apple Store like it is in the second movie, but it's still not dirty enough. It's still not grimy enough. It's not that first movie. The first movie lives in a filthy world, and this one doesn't. Even more so when we go back to the 60s. It's like an idealized 60s.
And yeah, that evolution of technology doesn't make a lot of sense given everything we're told in the first movie about like technology that we're holding back so that people don't know that it's alien. Like, they have really super advanced technology. It should look at the very least like the 80s or the mid-90s.
Yeah, yeah.
And everybody's using typewriters and stuff. No, like, they should have, already advanced alien computer monitors and things like that.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. They didn't think about it enough.
The giant neuralizer is just goofy.
And then we have another neuralizer. We have the dial-up neuralizer, which is a funny idea, but again, it's not understanding that everything the Men in Black have is gifted technology or stolen technology.
Yeah.
We wouldn't start with a dial-up neuralizer and then move to... We got the neuralizer from someone. We get all this technology from different alien cultures. That's why they're so advanced.
I mean, to be fair, it could be that that's... And yeah, it's a funny joke, but like maybe that starts from a dial-up place, and then eventually that... Maybe we have, like, a treaty with that, you know, alien species, and they give us the more advanced version.
Yeah.
You know, like, maybe that's okay. My bigger issue was the giant one.
Yeah. Well, and they have both of them.
Why do they have both of them?
Yeah, and also the dialogue.
It's not like the giant one's there, like because he needs more of his memory erasers. I could not figure out why we needed this massive one when you have a pocket one, even though it's dial-up internet. I don't understand that.
Well, and the dial-up one we use for comedic effect, but then later we use it just like a normal neuralizer.
Like it's already online.
Yeah, and that's
maybe it just stays online.
We had that conversation. There's a reason that doesn't work because why wouldn't you just always keep it online?
Yeah.
Like he runs. We have the entire climax of the film.
Turn it on when you get in the car.
Yeah, yeah. The ending is horrendous, insulting. So when
it is fun that Will Smith's dad is Luke Cage.
So we get to the climax and Luke Cage is there for no reason. He's just like this military guy.
And boy, he bulked up later, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. He's almost unrecognizable where I was like, is that Luke Cage?
Yeah, and it took us a minute.
Yeah, because he's so small.
Like, and remember, you even had a moment where
I was like, oh, no, I must be wrong.
No, it's not. And then he started talking. We're like, no, that's Luke Cage. Luke Cage!
So he goes to this facility. It's NASA. Is it the Apollo? It's the one where we walk on the moon, right?
Yeah,
it's that one.
Yeah. Because it's 69.
Yes.
And they're talking about the moon launch.
Yeah. So we have this whole big fight, and Luke Cage is there, and then
actually that's important because the prison's on the moon.
The prison on the moon makes no sense.
Yeah.
How did the lady get there? Was she an alien? Was she not an alien?
I have no
Why
idea.
did they let her just go there? Why don't any of them look like they're Men in Black people? They all just look like SWAT guys. Because we had a discussion about whether or not it was a Men in Black prison or if it was a regular prison.
Yeah.
But like, if it's on the moon, it has to be Men in Black prison. It doesn't look like a Men in Black facility. None of that works. And again, it's that like, and that chick is like in all like latex and she's all sexy. There's nothing sexy in the first movie. It's like they went to different sensibilities for the second and third movie where they're like, oh, we're kind of like exploitation-y, but like that's not what the first one was. There's nothing like the romantic lead in the first movie is so plain Jane. Like it's not a sexy film. Like part of that first movie is about how mundane,
which I think
the
for a lot of
world
people
is.
made it sexier.
Yeah, because the technology is so sexy. It's so sleek and
also we're taking our cues hard from X-Files.
Yeah.
And we forgot X-Files existed when we got to this.
Yeah. So we have this big fight with the bad guy, and there's this whole time travel thing doesn't make sense with Jay using the thing, and like why aren't there two Jays and two of the bad guy, and all of that's dumb.
I mean, the time jump idea is fun. By the way, the effects look horrible throughout.
Yeah, the effects are really bad in this movie.
We talk about dodgy CG. This is just bad CG.
Yep.
Too ambitious for the budget they were allowed on this, but like
and not enough practical.
Yeah, absolutely. But the idea of like literal time jumping, where you go down and you drop and then you go like throughout time and you circle back around. It's a cool idea.
It is a cool idea.
I like that. The chocolate milk thing is funny. I like
all of that felt like comedy. That's not Men in Black comedy though.
No, that's true. Sure.
It all felt like comedy from something else.
Yeah.
Like, I guess you have the sugar water in the first one, but, like, that makes a certain amount of sense with a bug. Like,
yeah.
None of that feels Men in Black-y. A lot of the comedy, this doesn't feel Men in Black-y.
Kind of quirky with that. It's not Douglas Adams.
Yeah, and this feels very Douglas Adams with a lot of time traveling stuff.
Yeah.
Which is what I kept saying. I was like, oh, this is very Douglas Adamsy. So,
and the fifth dimensional being is not a real Men in Black kind of thing.
Very Douglas Adams. Though.
Yeah.
Again, very Douglas Adams. Also doesn't make sense. A character like that is very hard to write because what are the rules?
Yeah.
We're like, he gets caught and he's like, oh, I forgot to stop this moment from happening. I'm like, how? How did you forget to stop being
you're seeing
kidnapped?
65,000 permutations. And
there were some nice moments with that. I really like the...
I think the actor's great.
Yeah. I really like the... who is it? Who's the artist?
Andy Warhol.
Andy Warhol. I really like Andy Warhol. And I love that he's not an alien. He's an agent. That's a fun twist, because usually celebrities are aliens.
He'd be an alien, yeah.
I really like that. That's really fun. And I forget what the actor's name is, but I really like him too.
He makes everything up and pretends like he's.
Yeah.
And it's funny because he made up Andy Warhol. It's not like a guy pretending to be Andy Warhol.
Yeah, no, he just made up. And he's like, I'm going crazy. I'm drawing bananas in soup cans.
Yeah, he just starts making that stuff up because he can't think of anything else. It's really funny.
But so
throwing that under the bus a little bit, but it's an amusing.
So there's
take on that.
there's this big like action scene, and we're told earlier that where there is death, there must always be death because. So the bad guy goes back in time to kill Kay, and then Jay goes back in time to stop him from killing Kay, and the bad guy's missing an arm, and apparently if the bad guy loses an arm, it just resets time, and that makes no sense. Like I've never seen anything like that where I'm like, so wait, this one event is the thing that all of this is tied to. If this one thing happens, time will reset and be basically exactly what it was before. That makes no sense.
In the words of Deadpool, that's just lazy writing.
That's just lazy writing. So,
not to mention the contrivance for why Jay remembers everything,
which makes no sense either.
Yeah.
So, you were there.
Oh, okay.
So
I guess because there's like a focal point.
There's this moment that apparently has to happen, which is the bad guy runs out and kills Luke Cage. Which, by the way, his body's bulletproof. How's that even work? He runs out and he kills Luke Cage, and Kay has this. Would that be his opportunity for change? Is that he's like, I should have killed you in the first place, and this time he kills him, whereas before he arrested him. See, he's learned something.
I guess.
And then there's a car there for no reason.
It's so cookie cutter. I'm not even looking at this in traditional narrative terms.
There's a car there for no reason, and the door opens, and the small child comes out.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, that's my dad. We're like, where did you come from, kid? And it's Jay. Kay saved Jay, or Kay was there when Jay's dad died, and therefore he has a connection.
He felt responsible, and that's the reason that he recruited him in the first place. You can assume, you can surmise.
Yeah. And then that's why he stuck up for him in the first one, where Zed's like he's too non-traditional, and he's like, no, I got a feeling about this kid. Oh, he's got a feeling about him because he has a literal personal connection from his past.
Yeah, that is Spider-Man 3 of
That's awful.
Yeah, it's awful.
Awful. It is interesting how many things that don't work in Iron Man 2 are in this, right? Like the whole like riddle of your heart thing connected to his dad from the past, and like
good point.
It's like who thinks to write this? And I have that with some of this where I'm just like, well, that's really contrived. It's not like an awful movie. Like it's not. It's just. I guess if you turn your brain off, you could watch this just fine. Like you're not thinking about it. It's fine.
That ending kind of kills it, and
yeah.
and I think like I had. That was harder this time for me for some reason than it was before. Like I think just because I for a minute I'd forgotten about it. This is a very unmemorable movie.
Yeah,
and for a minute I forgot about it, and then it came back and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. We did that prequelitis thing, and then you had that conversation with him and Kay at the end, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm glad you guys aren't making any more of these. You have no idea what you're doing with these characters anymore.
What was the ending stinger that was dumb?
If for somehow or rather, if Kay doesn't come back and pay his bill, then the aliens attack.
No, it's like a meteor, right?
Oh no, yeah,
it's a meteor falling, and he's
I couldn't remember if it was a meteor. Or is it just a meteor?
Yeah,
or were there aliens in orbit?
It's just.
I thought there was something else, but yeah, maybe it is just a meteor.
So
So
the guy who sees like thousands, like all possible realities.
I guess that's supposed to be some kind of butterfly effect thing, but wouldn't that be like an immediate? Because the meteor is like on its way. And
it's very.
And somehow it misses us because Kay pays. And the thing is, the whole movie hasn't been about butterfly effect. That's not what the movie's about.
No, and so this guy says. This is a great reality, unless it's the reality where Kay forgets to pay pay his forgets to tip.
Right,
he looks over and Kay hasn't tipped, and there's a meteor coming towards the Earth, and then Kay comes back. He goes, I almost forgot. Puts the money there, and a satellite stops it from hitting it. So wait,
what?
So wait, that meteor hitting is predicated solely on whether he pays the tip or not.
Like right now in this moment.
Yeah, like if he If he did not come back in, that meteor would hit. But because he came back in, the act of him paying the tip stops the meteor from hitting the Earth. Now, I'm glad they didn't do another.
Somehow it's you did the right thing. I had that thought too, where like we're not inside another locker.
Yeah, because the first movie makes sense, and thematically it makes sense. The second movie, we kicked a locker open, and I'm trying to figure out the physics of the entire universe being in a locker that's in the Men in Black that you can open. It doesn't make any sense. This one's also dumb. Just watch Men in Black.
Yeah.
Just don't ever watch 2 or 3. Just watch Men in Black.
I'm sorry I made you watch that.
I didn't not enjoy watching it. It's just, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I
just remembered having a lot more fun with it than 2.
I mean, if you've never seen it, like, you can watch it. But I don't know why you wouldn't just watch the first.
I guess the main reason, the 2 main reasons to watch that is just to see Will Smith authentically play that character one more time.
Because, and Brolin.
Because he does, like he's doing his Will Smith thing, but whenever he plays that character, there is something different about it.
He has a sense of who Jay is.
Yeah.
And he hasn't forgotten that. And to be fair, now there's Tommy Lee Jones for what he's in the movie.
Sure, yeah. And
anything that's let down for those characters is the script, not the actors.
Sure, yeah. Can you believe the resume Brolin's got right now with a lot of this genre stuff? It's crazy all the roles he's played now.
Yeah, and I cannot get a sense for whether he actually likes genre stuff or not.
I don't know. He seems to just be a kind of workhorse, man. Like,
yeah,
he just shows up.
Yeah, he's in a lot of movies. He's in the True Grit remake.
Yeah.
He's also Jonah Hex.
Oh, I forgot about that. I mean, he's done so much comic book now.
Yep. I imagine he'll just keep popping up in comic book things.
Yeah.
Yeah, just watch.
Well, and like they'll make probably 3 X-Force movies now.
Yeah, and he'll be in all of them.
So we'll see Cable. We'll see if Cable gets like things to do.
Oh, I'm supposed to do this.
Yeah,
not feeling.
That's
it.
a little obligatory. We'll see if Cable like gets character arcs and like grows and changes as a person, or if he's just like that same kind of stolid character all the time.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that does it for He Made Me Watch. Eric,
this doesn't even have the weird dark thing in the second one where like he makes where you remember where oh, can I talk about the neuralizer for a second?
Yeah.
Can I talk about how that doesn't make sense?
Is there another thing with the neuralizer you want to talk about?
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
I don't know if you know this. I'm like obsessed with the neuralizer.
No, I know you are. I know you are.
It's a thing from childhood. But well, like in the first one, he zaps David Cross, who he's playing a different character than the one that died in the first film. He's not back in this. Where he...
Oh, I also didn't mention the whole stupid thing with O.
Yes.
She's... That whole thing's annoying. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Could have been entirely cut from the film.
Yeah. Yeah.
So... in the second film, like he talks to like David Cross, and David Cross is gonna go kill his mom. You remember that? Where he's like, hey, move out of your mom's house, like go and do this stuff. And he picks up like an axe, and he's like, hey, mom. At least in that scene, it remembered what the first movie was.
Yeah.
And 2, this doesn't have any of those. Where like I'm like, yeah, it remembers how weird and dark that first movie was. There's no walking into a morgue and like there's a dude like slimes to a ceiling that's dripping, like
yeah, there's
it's
real
so clean.
Yeah, there's real edge to it. There's...
but we've basically just forgotten what the neuralizer does.
Yeah.
The neuralizer makes you forget a certain amount of memory, and then you input.
You can replace it with something.
You can replace it with something, and we just like there was a moment where I'm like, what does that even leave them
people's
with?
lives better? When he, like in the first movies, like get a better wardrobe.
Yeah, and get was it a house a redecorate? What was it?
I don't remember.
It's something. He's like get somebody in here, cause
damn. Yeah.
But in this, they just. It's funny in the beginning where he's like, hey, you know how your your kid brings a goldfish home from school and you don't want that in your house.
You don't want that dirty thing in your house.
So you flush down the toilet. This is what happened. That's funny.
No, that's great.
But later on, we just like there's points where I'm like, what memory does that give them?
Yeah,
I don't understand. Like we've just given up.
Confuse them and yeah.
Boy, I want a good Men in Black movie. I mean, I have a good Men in Black movie.
And I've always said this, it's made worse by how long it takes before they come out. because there's no excuse. It's like it's the Ghostbusters 2 thing.
This feels like a movie that came out 2 years after 2.
Exactly, and it feels rushed because when you and like maybe it was rushed because they didn't have enough time once they decided they were going to make it. You know, you hear that story all the time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like we had deadlines and we killed ourselves to make this movie that was kind of mediocre, but. It's got that Ghostbusters 2 problem where it's like, well, if Ghostbusters 2 came out 2 years after Ghostbusters, I don't know that people would have complained so much that it feels like a carbon copy. It was 5 years after that movie.
Yeah, yeah. I just don't... Maybe the sensibilities have changed. Like, maybe you can't make Men in Black. Maybe you shouldn't make Men in Black.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But it's a good question.
Why don't they make a Men in Black and just be like, hey, Ben Edlund, we're friends. Can you write a script?
See, yeah.
He would get it.
Because he's the guy, yeah.
Yeah.
I would argue that, well, and of course, he and Sonnenfeld are friends. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Let Sonnenfeld direct another one, but let Edlund write the thing. No, if you can make...
And Edlund's got pedigree. He's written on TV shows. Like, it's not like he's just a nobody.
Why would you think sensibilities have changed too much? If you can make the Tick show we have on now, you can make Men in Black.
No,
I don't,
You're right.
I don't understand that.
I look at the movies and, like, I look at the movies coming out and like
sure, yeah.
Like with the side cool thing that we're doing, I guarantee you that's also, not going to have the sensibilities of.
No, it won't. But it's not like 2 and 3. Performed remarkably well. I mean, like I think a lot of people feel the same way we do, where it just feels like this obligatory thing where it's more about getting the band back together than it is telling any kind of a story.
Yeah, both films feel very studio meddled.
No, yeah, sure.
I don't know how much they are studio metal, but they both feel
that way.
They both films feel compromised. But
yeah. Well, anyway, I tried to end this video like 3 minutes ago.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
I talked about Neuralizer.
It just occurred to me. Oh yeah, we like finished this video.
I need to get a new Neuralizer. I should do that.
Did you have like a screen-worthy one at one point, or
no? I had the one that they sell at the store at the Men in Black section of Universal, which is bigger and thicker than what it is in the movie, but like it's the closest you're gonna get, and it does flash. Although the dials don't actually have changing numbers, and very quickly it stopped like clicking down. It would just stay open, and that's a bummer.
Oh, that sucks because that was probably like a $20 item or something.
It was a $20 item, and I was like 15, and like the 20
that was a lot of money.
And I that should be my answer, right? Like. For any movie prop, if I could have any movie prop, I would have a Neuralizer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I love the Neuralizer. I cannot explain why. I just think it's the coolest thing. And it looks bad in this. It doesn't. It looks wrong. It's wrong.
Some of it's the sound effect. I was thinking it had just a perfect sound effect.
Yeah.
Like the fact that it like clicks at the end.
Yeah.
It sounds like an old camera flash.
I'm sure that's the effect they used, and then they added some filters
to
stuff
to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, once again, thanks for watching Heating Me Watch. We sure appreciate it, folks. If you want to continue on with the Omnibus, we've got just a couple of segments left. We're going to move on now to License to Review. Eric and I going to talk a little, that was a great sentence, are going to talk a little bit about the third James Bond film, Goldfinger. So look forward to that, and we'll see you again right after this break.